Hi everyone, it's Nicole here today for Simon Says Stamp, and today's card features the adorable stamped images and papers and embellishments from the Simon Says Stamp March 2016 card kit. And I have not only embellished the front of the card, but the inside of the card as well. I love the little Peeps images from the stamp set included in the March card kit. While I don't care personally for Peeps to eat them myself, I do think they are a super cute and fun image, and they make the most adorable cards in the paper version. I'm going to stamp the largest size Peep in 5 different colors, and I did stamp it several times with each color simply to get the best stamped image each time. So I am using the Duckling color of Simon Says Stamp ink, and the green is the Willow. Each time I am cleaning it with the stamp scrubber pad in between changing colors. Now with the green, I did not get it very clean the first time, which I was afraid of. So as I'm stamping with the Twirling Tutu ink, you can see some of that green bled through. So what I did was I put a little more cleaner on the scrubber pad, cleaned it really good, wiped it off with a damp rag, and then stamped it again. And I just want to make sure I get the most crisp stamped image possible. As the ink dries, you can probably see with the yellow bunny, it does flatten out, and it definitely looks a lot nicer. I'm going to use some Mala Blue next. The colors were all inspired by the stripe paper that I'm going to be using on the background of my card. Go ahead and stamp that a couple times on some scrap paper because I'm running out of the white paper here. Next, there are some adorable little faces, 4 cute little faces in this stamp set, and I am going to adorn each of the Peeps with a cute face. So I'm picking the best stamped image for each color of the Peep here, and then adding a face with the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. You could do all the same if you wanted to, or maybe not add any at all. It's completely up to you, but I love the way the little face adds such a fun, whimsical touch to these images. Go ahead and add my last 2. I ended up going back to that first kind of standard, just 3 little dots image there for my blue Peep bunny. And then I'm going to take the coordinating dies that come in the card kit. I should probably also mention, if you don't want to get the whole card kit, or you already have some of those supplies or whatever, these stamps and dies are available for individual purchase, which is awesome. I'm going to die cut these using the large size Peep die. You can see it comes in a couple other sizes there to the right of the screen, plus a couple of other images, the cute little bow tie, which I am going to be using here in a second. After all of my Peeps are die cut, I decided I wanted them to have some sort of a border, something to really set them apart from that stripe background. So I am taking one of the wavy scallop dies. This is from a previous Simon Says Stamp release. You could use any sort of border die that you have, or even simply cut your paper into a strip. This is about a 3-inch wide strip. It definitely doesn't have to have that decorative edge. I just like the way the little stitching line in the scallop looked for my card here. But I die cut a piece first on one side, and then I want to die cut the other side, but I laid the Peeps out kind of like how I was going to adhere them, so I knew exactly where that die needs to go. Plus I need to leave just a tiny bit of room to stamp one of the greetings from the stamp set there. I'm going to use a little Post-it tape to hold that in place, and then run it through my machine again. And that's going to leave me with an awesome little, like I said, almost 3-inch border where I can add those cute little Peeps bunnies to my card front. I'm going to gently curve the greeting that I'm using here for my card. to match the curved line of that white panel. So I'm going to keep working that on my acrylic block until I get the shape or curve of my greeting to match that. Once I have it the way I want it to look, I'm going to go ahead and grab 2 colors of ink to stamp or ink up my stamp and then stamp that. So for the majority of the greeting, I'm going to be using the Intense Black Simon Says stamp ink. And then for the word peep, I'm going to use the Malibu ink. I wanted to pick one of the colors of the peeps, and that's just the one I picked. I thought it would show up better than maybe the orange would, or maybe even the pink. It's pretty light. But I think the green, orange, or blue would probably have shown up really well. I just went with the blue. And the greeting reads, "You're my kind of peep," which I think is so fun. I'm going to go ahead and attach each of these peeps to my border here. Just using a nice strong adhesive. You could use glue dots or liquid adhesive, whatever you have. And I had kind of trimmed down my stripe paper because I had used a little strip for something else. So I'm going to piece it together on my card base. This is one of the side fold card bases from Simon Says Stamp. You could also trim down some of the paper in the card kit to use as your card base. But I'm going to cover that, and then that seam is going to be completely covered with my decorative panel here. So I'm going to use a little foam adhesive for that, peel off the backing paper on my foam tape, and then attach my Peeps panel to my card. And then this is where I decided that my Peeps needed some bow ties. So using that Intense Black ink, I'm going to stamp several bow ties. And I did a bunch because I got a bunch of stamped images that were not complete. I was not pressing down just really well, so I went ahead and stamped quite a few of them, and then I am going to color these all in with Copic markers that match the colors of the Peeps. So about 2 shades per color. Very, very easy blending. I'm not even going back in with my lighter color and blending out. I'm just kind of feathering in some darker lines there, and that's good. Now on the orange, I did blend it out because I didn't really like how it looked originally. I felt like the lines were a little too dark. But for the most part, I am not going to do any blending. I'm simply going to color these in, add a little feathering with my darker color, and then die cut each of these with that coordinating die that comes with all of those Peeps. Now you could definitely match the bow tie to the peep, but I decided to just kind of mix and match them, and I'm going to put different colored bow ties on each of my Peeps. I like to use a little Post-it tape to hold down the die while it goes through the die cutting machine so it doesn't shift. And then I'm using some bling glue dots to hold my little bow ties in place on each of my Peeps. And then I decided I wanted to try to pop up the bow ties. I don't know how successful that's really going to be because realistically you send it through the mail, they're going to kind of flatten out anyway, but I like the little bit of dimension. I am going to take some of the awesome sequins included in the card kit now and scatter those throughout my card. I like to kind of lay some of them out first, maybe not all of them, but enough of them to give me an idea of kind of where I want them to go. And then I will start adhering them. My preferred way of adding these sequins or anything small like this to my projects is with the bling glue dots. On the inside of the card, I'm going to add another greeting from the stamp set that says Happy Easter. That's stamped in the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. And then using several shades of the same colors of ink that I used for the large Peeps, I'm going to use that small Peep image and just stamp a little trio of those Peeps on the inside of my card as well. I just think they're so super cute. Now the thing about these small ones is they do have little faces. You can see the little white dots there. To really make those pop, I am going to go over those with a Sakura black gel pen. And that is going to really make the faces on each of those little bunnies stand out. So while it's really cute like this, and you could definitely leave it like that, if you take a black pen and add detail to it, you can see the difference. just think those are adorable, and it's a really fun way to finish off the inside of cards. Now, as I was finishing up, I realized, what are my Peeps missing? I felt like they were missing something, and then it came to me. They're sparkly, they're full of sugar. So to replicate that look, I'm taking the Wink of Stella clear glitter brush pen and going over each of the Peeps with this marker, and you can see now they definitely look like those sugary Easter springtime candy. And that is going to be it for this card. That is going to finish off this Peeps filled Easter card. Thanks for watching this video showcasing the Simon Says Stamp March 2016 card kit. Please check out the Simon Says Stamp blog for lots of inspiration. Thanks for watching.